Okay, I've got the gears all made for my coil winder that I'm making, except for the largest gear, which is 81 tooth gear, and I'm going to try to have my NC machine lay out the indexing strip for me. What I'm going to do is what I did is I wrote a little program that will move over the required distance and come down and write the line. I took a pen and I put it into a tube that's going to go into a 7/16 collet, and it's spring loaded so that the end goes, so I can come down and into the middle of my spring travel and draw my line and raise up. So first off, I'm going to show you the little program. It ain't much of a program. I'll try to explain it to you. Oop. All right. So what I have here is I position to actually my 0 on X, Y, and Z. I wrap it to that position, then I go into the incremental mode, and then I call move, and I do it 81 times, and then I end. And then here's the subroutine. At the end of the program here, there's a subroutine. It's called move. And here I'm feeding down from my Z0 position, incremental, 1/2 inch. And I'm feeding at 20, and then I go Y in 1/2 inch. It's going to make a 1/2 inch long line, because that's incremental also. They're all incremental. And then Z is going to go back up a 1/2 inch. It's going to move over my distance that I need, and then it's going to go to a Y minus a 1/2 inch and get ready to go down and draw the next line, and it'll start over again and come back up here, and it'll go through that 81 times. It's supposed to. And so what I got to do is I've got to mount my pen, my spring-loaded pen, into the spindle here. And there's no spindle, no tool call out, no RPM. It's just basic moves. So I gotta get the right collet. Gotta get a 7/16 collet here. Oh, and I'm going to tape the paper. What I'm using is Mylar. There's no stretch in Mylar, or very little. It will stretch over a long period of time when you roll it up. That's why a Mylar should be should be stored flat, not rolled up. Because if it's rolled up, it can actually shrink on one side and stretch on the other side, and kind of throw if you got really tight dimensions, which you hardly ever do on a Mylar. They won't stay. They could actually move a little bit. Okay, if I can figure out what I've done with my 7/16 collet. It's over here. 7/16. Sure it's the right one. Yep, it's the right one. Yeah. My Z0 I'll have to set to it in the middle of that spring tension, and then move it 1/2 inch. So that doesn't need to be real tight. I'll just snug it up. That's good. Now, in order to set the Z height right, I need to get a 1/2 inch block, 1/2 inch Joe block, gauge block. Just so happens I have a 1/2 incher right here, I'm at 0. I'm gonna cheat and move my knee up. And what I want to do is I want to move it to where there's part of the spring of the pen is. So I want to move kind of into the middle of the, right there. That's good. Not real critical. So now we need to put paper down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Mylar on there with double back tape. I've got a strip of Mylar here. And I will just attempt to tape that down straight. And when I get that tape down, I'll come back. I'm going to go ahead and all I'm going to do is put double back tape down a couple spots and tape that down, and I'll be back. Okay, I got the paper all taped down. I'm ready to go. Hopefully my pen will write for me. This is going to be take 1. So here we go. Naturally, the pen's not writing. Oh, come on. I could see the line, I could see the mark in the Mylar, but it's not writing. I was kind of afraid of that because I just grabbed it. Oh, and now it's going to start writing, maybe. Might have to get a different pen. I can actually see the marks, so the spring pressure is enough to where, I wonder if I put a little more spring pressure on it. I hate to move it up too far and run out of. When you know it. I did move it up a little. Oh yes, it did help. So I may have to run the first part of it over again. 81 times that should do it. And naturally the camera is not going to focus. Come on. Let's see, the total distance was, let me see, the diameter of that is 5.04 times pi. 15 inches, 832. So it's going to go from the first mark. It's going to go over to there somewhere. It's a long ways to go. We're not even halfway. That's why I wanted the machine to do it. For me to sit down and accurately do those, it takes some effort. This would be much more accurate than I would have done with a scale and a ruler or whatever, and a pen. So, but anyway, it's going to do it 81 times. I'm just going to cut away with the video and come back when I'm going to start it over and rerun it for the lines that didn't show up once I get to the end, and then I'll stop it and I'll show you what we got when we're done. Okay, so here it is. I went back and redid, and then I went down it and drew a couple lines on the width that I wanted. so that I can cut it out straight. So now all I need to do is cut out the strip, put it on the rim of my indexer, and I'll be ready to make that 81 tooth gear. That actually worked pretty darn good. I'll have to remember that instead of sitting down trying to measure and draw lines. I'm going to keep this, I'm going to hang on to this pen here. It's just a standard cartridge in it, so I'll probably get a new cartridge, probably an ink or one of those gel. They usually write pretty good. But yeah, it worked good. So the next video I will have this strip cut out, put on indexer. I'll cut it out, put it on the indexer, and then I'll video the last, well, at least part of the last gear, making the last gear. So until then, catch you later.